Hello, and welcome to Call It What It Is. My name is Courtney Harper, and I am the host of the show. And today we are going to get into something that is uncomfortable. That's what we're going to start it off by calling it what it is. It's uncomfortable. By the end of it, maybe we can get to another definition of what it is, but right now let's just say that it's uncomfortable. I've been on this journey of life, as we all are, and I've gotten to a point where I have to start building up my beliefs, and when I'm building up my beliefs, I have to knock down some of the old things that I believed are true and start stepping into the new things that I know that are true, and that's uncomfortable. So let me take you back in time. Back in time, I was in school and I saw a problem. And the problem that I saw, nobody else saw. And I kept trying to figure out why nobody else saw it. So as I was trying to do that, what I did was I said, well, let me take it to this place and see if they see the problem. And they didn't see the problem. So let me take it to this place and let me see if they see the problem. And they didn't see the problem. So then I'm like, let me take it to this place and let me see if it was a problem. And they didn't see it was a problem. So then in me looking for all of these problems, people were looking in saying, you're really overreacting. You're really stepping in a zone, in a place that you should not be stepping in. You really shouldn't be doing this. So now my feelings and my belief of myself is inadequate because what I see, no one else sees. And so I quit. And what I mean by what I quit is I just said, you know what? I'm going to separate myself from this situation because I know that it's true. I have let the proper people find out that it's true, but the backlash that's coming along with this is tearing me up. So I decided that I was going to just say, you know what? Let me back up and let me get really, really focused into school and really focused in the relationship that I was in and really focused on just being a successful woman in society. So I did that. And when I did that, I moved forward. I graduated from school. I hit some rough patches here and there, but you know what? Ultimately, what I desired for my life came true. And I kind of put it in the background. I didn't focus on it anymore until it came back up in a different way. And so now I was dealing in a situation where I said something about this situation is not right. And as I'm talking to my husband, he doesn't quite see it. And I start talking to my family and friends, and they don't quite see it. They may see it a little bit. I'm not going to say that they were completely oblivious, but they didn't see it the way that I saw it. And because they didn't see it the way that I saw it, I then started feeling like I was about to go back through the same thing where maybe it's not what I think it is, so I just need to just leave it alone. However, in this new part of where I'm at, everything in me kept saying, you can't stop. You want to stop, but you can't stop. And in order to not stop, I then had to start doing some self-reflection about why I felt like stopping was the best thing to do. And in that, what I found was the first time I handled the situation, the feelings that everyone gave me, I made it in myself as though I was inadequate. I did not know what I was doing, that I may have had ulterior motives, that I was not confident, that I was not equipped to see what I was seeing. So even though like I saw it and I knew that I saw it and it was wrong, I started to feel as if I was not adequate. So now I'm dealing with self-doubt. Now I'm dealing with anxiety. Now I'm dealing with the fear of standing out on my own because I didn't feel equipped. Now, in the situation that happened earlier, the outcome came out that what I saw was really true. And things and measures had to be taken place so that it could be handled promptly and in the right manner that it needed to be handled. However, when I walked away from that situation, I didn't walk away with confidence that I have a type of insight that others don't have. And that is a great quality to have when you are in a group of other people. And just because other people don't have that quality doesn't make you better than them. It just makes you a great asset to the team. That's not how I walked away. I walked away feeling inferior, feeling defeated, feeling like I was not helping anyone. And to guard that and to hide it, I decided that I'm not dealing with people. I only deal with people that I need to deal with. And that's work. If I got to work with you, I'm going to deal with you. And when I deal with you, depending on where you fall. So if you are a coworker, I'm going to try to talk to you once, maybe twice. If you are kind of putting up that guide of like, hey, how are you? If we've said, hey, how are you 15 times and we haven't delved any deeper than that, then I'm going to leave you be. Because when I start divulging what it is that I am and who I am and how I feel, and all you have is a, hey, how are you? Then again, that inadequacy comes in. And so it's not worth feeling that way. So I'm just going to put a wall up. Now, if I go into my patients' homes and I'm dealing with parents that are going through some things that I felt like, I show up in a whole different way. I show up in a way of caring and advocating for that family because I understand the feelings that they feel. And it's not that they're inadequate, it's that they're not quite ready, maybe. They might not have all of the equipment that they need to be able to do what we're asking them to do. And it is my job to help them get to that point, right? So fast forward to this new situation, I decided to handle it differently. And when I decided to handle it differently, it was very uncomfortable because I wanted people to be in my background cheering me on. Rah, rah, rah. Go, Courtney. Go, Courtney. You are doing what you're supposed to. Go, Courtney. Go, Courtney. And instead, I got, well, how do you know that it's this? And why would you think that it's this? And I don't know if what you're saying is right. Or maybe how you're doing it is not right. Which all goes back and validates all the insecurities that I felt on the inside. And that was uncomfortable because once you know better, you have to do better. And what I saw is what I saw. And I can't take what I saw and say, I didn't see it. I can't take what I feel and say, I didn't feel it. Because it wasn't true. So instead, I had to step up. And as people would say, put your big panties on and handle the situation. So I handled the situation. I didn't think about the backlash that was going to happen. I did have a whole day of worry about backlash because I remember the last time I stood up for somebody that I received backlash, and the backlash that I received tore me down. Let's just say it like I told my mom. I felt like it killed me. Like it was so hard to deal with that backlash that it just sent me into being a recluse. So I was so worried about the backlash of me doing this that I just didn't want to do anything that day. Then, as I talked myself through it and realized that, all of this is stemming from a situation that you handled before, I realized, oh, I'm good, right? So now I'm handling this like a G, like I'm good. I'm going to show up. I'm going to deal with what I need to deal with. If you deal with me, cool. If you don't deal with me, cool, because I stand very firm in how I feel I was supposed to respond to this situation. And I don't turn away from the fact that I saw what I saw, and I felt what I felt, and I needed to do something with that. Okay. But what I wasn't ready to deal with was the backlash that came to my child. See, I was prepared to fight whatever fight I needed to fight. I wasn't prepared for my child to have to fight a fight because I fought a fight. And I wasn't ready, and I didn't know how to handle this. But my child, she's amazing. And she's amazing because she started the way that I started. She started with, look, I'm going to handle this. I'm a G. I'm a super girl. I'm going to go in there. If they got something to say, they got it to say. I'm going to let it roll off my back, but I'm not going to let it change me. I'm not going to let it do anything to me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to handle it. And what I saw was a spectacular young lady go out and stand for herself. And stand for herself in the way of, I'm going to do what I need to do and y'all don't stop me. But when she would get home and the conversations that we had, I could tell that she was standing in a sense of holding this weight and not trying to let it hold her down. But I saw that she was protecting me. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like it. And so I had to have a conversation with her to say, look, I need you to protect you. If they come for you, you need to protect yourself. Say and defend yourself. And then I also had to tell her, if they come for me, don't handle me and don't handle them coming for me because I'm good. Now, for the first time, I'm going to be real. And I'm going to say this. I told my child, don't protect me. I can handle me. But I was so afraid that I kind of didn't want her to handle for me, right? I kind of wanted her to be like, it's not my mom. Leave my mom alone. I wanted her to fight for me. But at the same token, I knew that this is not a fight for her to fight. This was a fight for me to fight. And she just needed to fight what she had on her plate and not what was on my plate. So after I told her that, we went through it. Seemed like everything was good. And finally, on the 4th day, she came and she was like, I need to say something to them. It is not okay for them to treat me the way that they're treating me. And what she got from her mom and her dad was, well, if you feel like you need to stand up for yourself, stand up for yourself. But the reality is that I was so scared for her to stand up for herself because of the backlash that she may get for standing up for herself. But I also understood that she can't be like her mom. She can't be scared to stand in her own skin. She can't have the self-doubt that will come along with it. It is not okay for her to go on in life having doubt in her abilities to be a ball player, in her abilities to be a wonderful, spectacular woman, in her abilities to see things the way that she sees them and be able to articulate it, as well as figure out ways to fix it and help the person through whatever they're helping through, because she is a spectacular girl, and it's not fair for me to teach her self-doubt at this age that I know is going to carry on. What I realized in this was my child is actually teaching me how to stand up for myself, how to be able to say, you know what, I did it, and I did it unapologetically. And if you have a problem with the fact that I did something that you haven't seen as a problem, then I understand that. But I have been blessed with the ability to see things in a way that others may not be able to see it. Or by the time they see it, we've gone so far down left that there's going to be so much things that we're going to have to do to fix what now others are seeing. And instead of being uncomfortable and afraid of what I see and standing for it, I have to stand for what it is. But mostly, I have to stand for me. I've been on this journey with God for, on the 6th of January, it was 50 days. So we can do the math. I'm not going to do the math right now because I'm not good with math quickly on the go, right? That's not me. But I have been on this journey with God. And in this journey, I'm like, God, something has happened in me. You know, for 5 years, I've been really dealing with the depression and with the anxiety, and I'm really dealing with it, and I'm cool with it. But this year last year, 2022, was a year that, man, it defeated me in a way that I was like, I ain't doing nothing. Nothing. If the business plummets, it plummets. If the house plummets, it plummets. Whatever plummets, it plummets. And I'm okay because I'm just going to ride where I'm at. And I'm not doing anything. And something in me was like, girl, that's not who you are. That's not the person that you are. You have to be you. So with this journey with God, I was like, well, who am I? Like, I don't even know who I am. Because all I can really tell you I am is a woman who has anxiety and depression. That it takes everything out of me to go to work every day and to get my kids where they need to go and to figure out dinner, that I have to lay in the bed from 8:30 until it's time to get up, and I get up at the last minute and I'm moving. and not even moving with purpose, really. It's like, my husband used this example, and he said, like, when you're running track, like, you have to lean forward when you come off of the little, I don't know what they call, but where you put your feet. And you got to lean forward because you got to use that falling momentum as your speed, and you work with it so that you can pick up your speed so that you can go faster, right? When I sit back and think of that, that's how my life has been, right? It's just like, let me just fall out of this bed, and I'm going to use that momentum to get me where I'm going. But in this journey, I've slowed down, and I've put focus on other things that have allowed me to really focus on the big picture. And the big picture is that although I deal with anxiety, and I deal with depression, and I deal with self-doubt and inadequacies and feeling unworthy, and feel like when people look at me, they look at me and be like, she ain't nothing. Like, okay, she's out here saying that she's going to do it, but she ain't nothing. Like, for an example, like, I'm a basketball coach, right? So for a booster league, and I'm so excited. And yesterday we did our draft, and I picked up these kids, and I'm so excited. And one of the kids that I really see great potential in, I was talking to his mom. And when I was talking to his mom was excited that I was his coach and wanted to know all this stuff. But then when the kid found out that I was his coach, he put his coat over his head. You could tell that he did not want me. You could tell that he felt, I don't know what he felt, but my eyes went straight to him thinking that I'm inadequate. I'm not a man. And then it started to try to play on that self-doubt that I felt on the inside. But through the lessons that I'm learning through God, and the lessons that I'm learning from my child, I have realized that it's not about outside sources. It is about what makes me feel good. And if others don't understand me and others don't want me, that's okay, because I want myself. I've been asking, like, what is my purpose? Like, I know that I'm supposed to come and I'm supposed to tell you something. And how I've been trying to come and tell y'all something, and mind you, like, this is like take number 5, because the way that I wanted to tell y'all, I wanted to tell y'all like I am put together. Like I am perfect. I don't have no flaws. I don't have any problems. I am perfect. Which makes me the person that you should listen to, because I am perfect. So that means that I am the professional. I am the one that you listen to. But the reason why this is like take 1018 is because that was not authentic. That is not who I am. I am a woman who has her own struggles every day, but I have been blessed with the ability to see things the way others may not see them, and come up with interventions and plans and ways that we can fix it before it gets to be so bad. And I have to stand in that. I can't stand in what other people think of me. And so when I am teaching my child and my child is teaching me, I don't want her to go down in life while she's dealing with adversity and change and dealing with people liking her one day and not liking her another day. And I want her to understand that she is enough. And whatever's inside of her is enough. So like, we had a conversation because she was sitting on the bed. She was like, I just want to be like everyone else. I am tired of feeling weird. And as she's saying that to me, I'm like, girl, I feel weird every day. I try to give myself a diagnosis of something to explain my weirdness. But what I told her in the analogy that I used for her is, she's a basketball player. Think about going to basketball practice or going to a basketball game, and you know all the fundamentals and you know how to play basketball. But you get there and you have to pretend that you don't know what you're doing. You have to pretend that you just don't got it. And not only do you have to do that, but you have to pretend with the confidence of what you know is not true. How hard would that be? And she said, that would be so hard, because how do you stop being and knowing what you already know? And then I said, so you have to think about that about your life. You are who you are. It can't change. Like, you are who you are. It can change, but it only changes when you are ready for it to change, because the change is going to be beneficial for you. It's not when you want other people to like you. So, it wasn't like I had anxiety, but it didn't change who I was. I had depression, but it didn't change who I was. I had self-doubt, but it didn't change who I was. It just suppressed who I am. And I don't want her to go through life suppressing who she is because it makes other people feel uncomfortable. So, what I have to say about this podcast and what I have to call it is, I am equipped to do what I'm supposed to do. And no one can make me feel less than who I am. And if someone tries, it's my job to stand in my worthiness. Calling it what it is not saying that it's uncomfortable. Calling what it is saying that I am worthy of being who I am. Thank you guys, and have a great day.